What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Fleetwood Mac. And we're returning to The Dance, the 1997 live album. I did want to give a shout out to Chris, who has indicated that he'll be able to share some more Fleetwood Mac with me once we finish this album. So this will not be the last chapter of our Fleetwood Mac journey. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been anyway, but I wouldn't have known when or what we'd be able to go to next. So once again, major shout out to Chris. And the next track is not one I've reacted to previously, so not on the two albums that I went through, nor the greatest hits compilation that I went through. And it's called My Little Demon. Or is it demons plural? I think it's singular. Yeah, it's singular. So I don't know. If you talk about your demons, I feel like the idea of your shortcomings, your vices, your insecurities, or mental volatility, you could be referring to aspects about yourself that are not perfectly in line or under control, or indeed that might lead you to dangerous or self-destructive behavior, or behavior injurious to others. Singular, it feels less obviously like that could be the meaning, and I suppose like amusingly or comedically you might refer to your offspring or your pet even, hello, looking at you Luca, as my little demon, and again that would have a lighter connotation to it. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this one, so I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. And of course, as I've gone through this live album, both with tunes I have heard before on those releases that we did go through, and those that I'm hearing for the first time, I obviously wonder how similar to or different from a studio or album version these performances might be. In any case, let's hear it. This is Fleetwood Mac and a live performance of My Little Demon, which is part of their 1997 live album, The Dance.
My little demon coming on down. My little demon's turning me around. All of my friends all telling me that I just ain't the man I used to be.
So, okay, a very energetic tune, and it's interesting because in one respect it sounds very like rural or country, but like rock and roll, kind of like country rock and roll. And I enjoy the guitar work, especially in the latter section. There's those crazy long vocal extensions, which like once or twice felt like it was just a single voice, but then in the back half of the tune it felt like there were multiple voices, and it would extend, flourish, go down a half step, extend and flourish some more. Like it really was a dynamic vocal extension each time it came around. And the opening, and even some of the vocals after the opening, but especially in that opening bit, it kind of had this like tribal chant like sound to it, sort of like almost animalistic noises, and like I wonder, sort of like an exorcism or something. But it does seem the main message is that this is something they are powerless to stop, that my little demon, whatever it is, they don't like it, but they can't really fight it, and they might as well like not hide it because it's just compelling them and pushing them to behave or perform some action that is otherwise something they would prefer to have under their control, to be an agent, to make a deliberative choice one way or the other. So yeah, I don't know what My Little Demon is. I suppose taking that into the conceptual realm, it could be like, addictive behavior, or it could be, a particular substance, or it could be, a drive for sex or something like that, where it's like, it's the one thing they can't manage in a more deliberative way, something that, again, they are just compelled toward, or something that drives them in a way that feels like they're more a passenger than the actual navigator. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some meaning like that. Now, the song doesn't feel dire or like, self-destruction is imminent, though, of course, a song can have a lighter or, like, less ominous and foreboding sound, but still be ominous and foreboding in the themes. I've certainly heard a number of tunes that would fit that category, but yeah, I'm curious about this one, and whether the situation is truly out of their control, or whether that's a mantra of convenience remains to be seen. Meaning, what better way than to absolve yourself of responsibility than to say it's just your nature? It's almost like a physical reflex, not something you can stop or do anything about, because then are you really morally culpable? If you're forced to do something, then you haven't chosen it in the way that a more deliberative, I consciously choose this instead of that, and any ramifications that come from that choice would then be on your shoulders. But if you're saying, hey, I'm just along for the ride, then you're seeming to avoid responsibility. But again, from the outside looking in, or maybe even more honestly in your own mind, you might be aware that, it's more like I don't want to choose otherwise. It's like, it's easier just to say I can't help it, and harder to admit that like you probably could stop it, but on some level you don't really want to. So that remains to be seen. And who knows, maybe I'm like conceiving of what I heard in a wrong fashion to begin with. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed the guitar and the kind of like rural rock and roll feel to it. So do let me know what I'm missing, what I'm getting right on this one. Once again, shout out to all those who've been following this deep dive, and to Chris for helping extend it once we finish going through the dance. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.